For those that have been living under a rock, Marvel Rivals was released early in December and has amassed over 400k players at launch, and that's just for the PC version. Rivals is a new free-to-play hero shooter developed by NetEase, and it's been making a lot of noise in the gaming space, with notable Marvel heroes such as Thor, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and many, many more. Rivals made a big splash in the sub-genre that was once solely dominated by Blizzard's Overwatch. While many other games have tried to enter themselves into the space, those same games has also been flops. I have a strong feeling though that Rivals be here for the long haul, due to some of the topics I would be discussing in this vid. With Season 0 wrapping up and Season 1 immediately dropping this weekend, I've been left scrambling to get this video up so I can get my thoughts off about the current state of the game. What's going on with all you beautiful people, extraterrestrials, and whatever you want to identify yourself as? It's your boy Rob, yes, just Rob, back at it with another vid. If you enjoy reviews, essays, and game analysis such as the vid you're watching now, then you're in the right place. Consider subbing to the channel and tapping the bell icon so you never miss a vid from yours truly. With everything out of the way, strap yourselves in, hands and feet aside to ride at all times, and somebody cue my intro. What I love about what NetEase is doing with Rivals is that it has its own story, and they even have its own comics. So if you ever want to check that out, just head over to the Marvel Rivals, not Marvel Rivals, the Marvel Unlimited app where you can read the comic. If there's one thing I can say about this game is that it was 100% made with a labor of love. From the quirky dialogue between each character's, detailed map, and some of the Easter eggs. If you've been paying attention in the Wakanda map, there's a portrait of not only T'Challa but also Shuri, so maybe we're gonna get her as a playable character down the line? Who knows? Speaking of characters, there are 33 playable characters at the time of this vid, with 8 of them being Vanguards, 8 for strategists, and a whopping 18 of them being duelists. Vanguards are your tank, and their main role is to soak damage and protect your team, while also creating space so your duelists can thrive. Strategists are your supports, and their job is to not only heal the team, but also provide assistance by buffing teammates or doing their own bit of damage when the time calls for it. Duelists are your DPS, and their job is to get pits and put pressure on the enemy team by controlling off angles. I would say that there definitely needs to be more tanks in this game, because there's only about 3 that are really strong and fits well in just about any comp, and all in all, only 5 that are worth playing. They also need to make more noteworthy tanks that the casual audience wouldn't mind playing, which leads to an insta-lock DPS problem that we see not only just in quick play, but ranked as well. Think about the average Joe that works their 9 to 5, don't really put that much time into learning characters, and just want to play a quick game with their homies. Why would they play as a Groot or Doctor Strange or Magneto when they could just play as Spider-Man or Wolverine since they have that cool factor going? Whenever initially dropping trailers for new heroes before release, we saw a lot of new DPSs such as Hawkeye, Psylocke, and Moon Knight, but nothing for tanks. The last tank we received was Thor, who was released a week after the beta, in July. Marvel has so many noticeable characters that can easily be tanks such as Juggernaut, Colossus, Thanos, maybe even Ghost Riders, and that's just naming some of the noticeable Marvel characters. I know we have the theme coming up after the second half of Season 1, but we still gonna need more tanks than that. Don't mind me though, I'm just a tank main getting my shit off. Competitive mode starts you from the lowest rank, which is Bronze 3, and each win gets you points that get you closer to the next tier. What I liked about the rank system that there are no placement matches, meaning that if you don't belong a certain rank, you have no issues climbing, and there's no rank up matches like in League of Legends, so you don't have to worry about winning 3 out of 5 matches just to get to the next tier. From gold and below, you also have a Chrono Shield which fills after every loss. Once it's filled, it will negate any point loss you will have received from a loss. NetEase wants to encourage their players to continue ranking up, as is evident with this Chrono Shield. Now, ranking up is definitely easier said than done, especially for my solo queuers. There is a massive DPS ego problem in the community. I know you all have seen the memes of people immediately locking 3 to 4 DPSs just for them to go negative and complain about heals. Unfortunately, this is not a development problem, but more of a personal issue problem. Everyone wants to have that main character complex and be the center of attention for damage, not even realizing that they're actively throwing the game. I don't care that you want to play DPS, just don't be ass. And honestly, if you only want to play DPS, then just head over to Quick Play, bruh. I've had games where someone, before we even get to the character select screen, type in chat that they were a Black Panther main and thanks to the Vans. So you already knew what he was picking. Now, I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning of that game, he was doing pretty good work. However, after the enemy caught on to the fact that he was diving the backline, they swapped over to a more anti-dive build featuring Magneto, Namor, Loki, and Mantis, which all hard counter Black Panther. Of course, he never swapped and we lost. Now, after looking at his profile, the man or woman had 13 hours with Black Panther, which is expected. But his next most played character was Punisher, and he only had 2 minutes on him. Yes, 2 minutes. I also had a game in Diamond where we had a Black Widow main. Now, I understand Black Widow is a decent character, but to my point, what's the point of even playing her if you have Hela and Hawkeye? And I even told the person, hey, you're getting dove on by the Hulk. I can only peel so much from what's in front of me. If you want, you can at least play Hawkeye or Hela so you have a lot more sustainability. You can at least get away. You have a better kit than Black Widow. They proceed to play Black Widow for the entire game and only get 10 kills. 2 kills in the second round. They only had 4 final hits. A lot of the player base just sucks ass, man. When I got the Gold 1 for the first time, I was ranked higher than 85% of the entire NA server for PC. And Gold is still considered low elo. Mind you, I didn't even play comp for the first week. I truly believe that none of us are in our proper roles just yet, with the game being so very new, and there's still a couple of balancing issues that's not yet fixed. Some people that was in Plat may actually be Gold players, some in Gold may be Silver, and some that are even in Diamond may be better off in Plat, because some of the teammates I get just don't make any sense, man. The best tip I can give for anyone that goes into comp is just to embrace the journey, because you would need to enter what I like to call the teammate roulette, which means sometimes you would get teammates that absolutely know what they're doing and what they need to do, and you all just steamroll. Or you just get buffoons as teammates and you get steamrolled. And honestly, if you get steamrolled after about 3 matches, you probably just need to get off the game for a minute and try again another time. But as long as you focus on doing your job consistently, you will climb to any rank no matter what. Season 0 was a nice appetizer, but now Season 1 will feature the Fantastic Four with Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman releasing in the first half of the season, and 3 new maps as well. We're also getting some buffs to Cap, Wolverine, Venom, and Storm. We're finally getting some nerfs to the twin marksmen of Hela and Hawkeye, who are both just way too strong and honestly felt like the 2 perfect DPSs. I think the devs realized that the current meta was shifting more to shield tanks and ranged DPSs and want to make other playables more valuable. But I just hope they don't pull any Overwatch and try too hard to focus on changing metas and making the game super balanced that it makes other characters obsolete in the process. I doubt that this would be the case since Storm is getting a buff who desperately needed one. If we are going to shift more towards a dive comp, then more anti-dive heroes will need to be announced, because of this current state, the only good anti-dive picks are Namor, Penny, Mantis, and Luna. For my usual matches, people just don't know how to play Penny, and Mantis requires too much aim and positioning for the average Joe. As long as you don't make another Brigitte who counters every dive character but is brain dead easy to play, then I won't have too many objections. The new rank system will also be adjusted to have your rank reset to 7 tiers from your current rank. At the time of this recording, I'm in Diamond 2, so for the new season, I'll be going down to Gold 3. I'm a bit mixed on this. While I do love the fact that I don't have to climb from Bronze 3 again, I just wonder how many hidden Diamond players will be in Gold versus people who actually have to grind to Gold. You know, just to avoid the curve stomping. Overall, I'm loving the changes that NetEase is making to Rivals, and I'm excited to see where Season 1 takes this game. Mr. Fantastic trailer just dropped, and he looks to be a hybrid of a DPS and tank. His playstyle is versatile and gonna be able to fit in most comps, and even hard counters poke comps with his ricochet ability. Invisible Woman also dropped, and looks like she's gonna be a very high skill support. It's gonna be focused on zoning enemies instead of doing damage like some of the supports we currently have. There was one more thing I wanted to go over, but wanted to save the best for last, and that's the big question that's been in the community since launch. Should there be a role queue? My answer to that question is no, there shouldn't be a role queue. Now, I understand it's frustrating when people insta-lock DPS and go triple negative, but they can do the same thing if there was a 2-2-2 comp. NetEase seems to not be budging on adding a role queue, and I'm fine with that. There's been times when I won games using 3 tanks, 3 supports, 2 tanks, 1 DPS, and 3 supports, and my personal favorite, which is 1 tank, 3 DPSs, and 2 supports. Also, with how strong some of the tanks are, and even the supports, they can do work as well, even better than some of the DPSs. Doctor Strange, who is my main, can turn into a nuke with his E-Burst, especially with the Gamma Beam, well, the Gamma Boost. I've seen high-level Mantis players completely take over a game with her damage boost. Not to mention, I'm going to argue that the counter to roll Q is already in this game, and that's hero bans. I personally like for hero bans to maybe start at Plat 1, just so players can get a taste of what it's like before reaching Diamond, because the jump from Plat to Diamond is a significant one. Once Hawkeye and Hella mains make it to Diamond, they immediately have to learn how to play new characters because they almost never see a high level of play. And that's the beauty of the game. Rivals isn't about one trick in a hero to get to the top or even just playing one role. NetEase really wants to emphasize players being able to play multiple heroes and multiple roles in order to come up with unique comps and synergize with team-up abilities. And that's even more evident with how Mr. Fantastic is built kit-wise. Well, that's everything I want to cover with the current state of Marvel Rivals and what I'm looking forward to in Season 1. If you all liked the video, then hit the thumbs up for me on your way out and expect more Marvel Rivals content in the future. I hope you all stay safe and stay dangerous. It's been your boy Rob. Yes, just Rob. And I'm out. Peace.